Back again, and so are you, and that is amazing. So let's talk a little bit about the Trust Accelerator framework. Now, again, trust is trust is almost the entire thing that you're doing with a community. Obviously, you're selling your services, your programs, whatever it is that you're here to sell. But the value of a community is the unique ability it provides and offers for you to earn and gain trust in a more intimate way, in a more personal way, and in a faster way than a static funnel or other kind of marketing methods can create for you, can provide for you. And so the Trust Accelerator framework is actually really, really simple. The first thing you need to do is don't be fake. No. Look, I know that sounds simplistic, but if you really think about it, how many times have you been turned off by somebody because it just didn't quite feel honest, right? How about the people who are too much sharing their vulnerable journeys and it starts to feel yucky? Or how about the people that are constantly bragging and flexing with mansions and Lamborghinis and all those cliches that I think we're all pretty much over at this point? You see, and I just can't stress this enough, especially as technology gets more and more sophisticated, especially as AI becomes a bigger part of our lives, people want human connection. They crave it. And honestly, there's a wonderful exchange that will happen, which is they'll pay you, right? Because whatever it is that you sell, you're not the only one, certainly not in the minds of people who are looking at you to decide whether they should, trust you to help them with whatever it is you do. And so the Trust Accelerator framework, the number one thing is just you've got to be authentic. You've got to be real. The second piece of the Trust Accelerator framework is you've got to show up with consistency, right? Now, there's a lot of talk in the coaching and marketing space about scaling and about building teams and about all of these things. And you've probably heard people say things like, you don't have a business unless you can step away from it and it runs without you. And while that's true, it lacks context. In the beginning, especially, you're the one that earns the trust. You do it. You will not earn trust with people by sloughing them off to an assistant or something like that. That's just not going to happen. It's just not human nature. You need to show up with consistency. You need to show up with authenticity. You need to show up, what's the expression, warts and all. Don't try to be slicker and cooler and prettier and whatever than you really are. In fact, some of you might be sitting there now thinking to yourselves, but I'm just starting out. Well, that's fine. That's fine. You have to accept that you be honest at every point in your journey and the right people will magnetize to you. Again, because this authenticity and being real is so potent. And so the Trust Accelerator framework, be your real self, be consistent. So be your real self, be consistent. And the third one is, again, so simple, but you might not feel comfortable doing it. Go the extra mile, especially in the beginning. Go the extra mile and let that be part of the DNA of who you are as a service provider or an expert or whatever it is. Now, this is another one that flies in the face of a lot of the bad marketing advice that we see on social media. It's all about, scaling to the moon and all that stuff. Just hold your horses. All right, coaches, just hold your horses with all that stuff. Build slowly, build consistently, and build solidly. Scaling to the moon is the kind of thing that happens to people who find the FTC knocking on their door. You feel me? So look, take your time here. Lean into this. And again, like I say in so many videos, you really can have a business where you work a few hours a week and you make 10,000 or tens of thousands, again, that's a real possibility, and people do make that happen. No matter what they try to show you in their social media highlight reels, those people do the things I'm talking about here. They put in the work. They work very hard to serve their clients in the beginning. They earn a reputation, with the exception of some of the obvious scammers. But the ones who last build something real. And you cannot build something real if focusing on earning the trust of your market is not part of your strategy. So review this video over and over again if you need to, and just rely on the 3 steps of the Trust Accelerator framework, okay? Be authentic, show up consistently, go the extra mile for your audience. Just do it. It's so worth it. And it'll pay you. It'll literally pay you. Okay? Okay.